Your listing photos can make or break your Etsy shop. And when I mean break your Etsy shop, it can literally cause you to have zero sales. So if your listing photos are not good, then you're going to struggle to make sales. If you have no idea what a listing photo is, let me share my screen. We're going to hop over to Etsy so I can show you what a listing photo looks like. So when you type something into the Etsy search bar, you are going to, I typed finance tracker for Excel, that actually just popped up. And so I just clicked that. All of these are listing photos. So this is the first impression a potential customer has of your product, of your Etsy shop. This is how they're going to decide if they want to shop with you or not. So your listing photos seriously can make or break your Etsy shop. If your listing photos are really good, then it's going to be easier for you to make sales. If your listing photos aren't very good, then you're going to struggle to make sales. So let's talk about 7 listing photo mistakes that I see beginners making when they are selling digital products. So let's hop over to Canva because that's where I make all of my listing photos. The first mistake that I see new Etsy sellers making when they're selling digital products is their photo ratio is off. So I like to use, so let me go up here. I use 2700 pixels by 2500 pixels. And then I just make sure that my margins are on. So to turn your margins on, you go to File, Settings, Show Margins. And that is going to give you this dotted box around. So like if you could see there, around there, that's going to give you the margins to stay within. Just as another example, if we go to Settings, Show Margins, take it off. So the margins are off. File, Settings, Show Margins. Now they're back on. So hopefully you can see that. So whenever I'm typing, I like to keep my text almost within those margins. So I've noticed I can go a little bit out. So like starting like one letter is out of the margin on each side. So like I usually would do my text about this size. And that's where I've noticed that my text will show up on a mobile size and on like a computer or a tablet. So my text doesn't get cut off whenever I stay within these margins. And so I've noticed that a lot with people is that when your ratio is off and you're using the wrong size dimensions for your listing photos, that the text will be cut off and then people don't know what your product is because your text is cut off. So it's okay if your pictures are cut off, but your text, we really want to be able to read what you're saying. So I always use 2700 pixels by 2500 pixels for my listing photos. So let's hop into mistake number 2, and that is your background is too busy and it's distracting us from your product. So if we can leave that there and let's go over here to design and let's see, look how all of these are just really nice, clean backgrounds. So it's kind of hard to find one with a busy background. Let me go down to backgrounds. Okay. So see if I did something like this as my background, see how hard it is to read the text. And so on Etsy, we need to be able to read whatever you're trying to tell us super fast because we are in scroll mode. We have a lot of other listing photos that we can look at. So your text and your images need to pop whenever we see them. And so this is too hard to read. We need something like a clean background. So just, there you go. Super clean background. Maybe not so bright. We could do something lighter like this. There we go. So this could be your background. It's simple and clean and it's easy to read the text and it's going to make your images look better because we actually can pay attention to the product and what we're going to get instead of being distracted by the busy background. So simple, clean backgrounds where we're focused on the text and on your images instead of just being distracted by the background. Okay, mistake number 3 that I see with your listing photos is that you have too much text. So you'll have your heading there, and then there's like some smaller text here, and then you're like, you'll put, comes in multiple sizes, and then you're like, you get 78 pages, and you get, then there's instant download, PDF, printable, like there's so much text, and it's just completely overwhelming. So we don't want all of this text. Your images should show us what we're getting instead of just telling us. So of course, it's good to have some text, but spread the text out over multiple listing photos. So if we go back to Etsy, let me see if I could find you a good. So this one's popular now, so I'm assuming it looks pretty good. See how there's not that much text. Here's what you get. and they're just showing you what you get. They're showing you what we get. And there's some little writing over there. Again, they're showing us what we get. So see how spaced out the text is so that it's not overwhelming. So that's what you want to keep in mind. See how they're showing us the different spreadsheets that we get. They're not just putting blue, green spreadsheet, brown spreadsheet, pink, purple spread. Like it's not just a bunch of words. They're actually showing us. And then the text is small. So the images are big, the text is small. That's how you want your listing photos to be. So we don't want it to be just all of this text where we're trying to read all of this stuff. We want to see what we're going to get and see how they use a nice clean background. This is a bestseller. See how they use a nice clean background that's not distracting from the images. So those are definitely things you'll want to do with your listing photos. So show us, do not tell us. Okay, now with mistake number, what are we on? 4? Yeah. So with mistake number 4, let's go back over to Canva. It's something that I see all the time is that everything is bolded. When all of your text is bold, our eye doesn't know what to look at first because bold text usually means it's something important. So if everything is bold, our eye doesn't know what to look at first because it's like, oh my gosh, all of this is important. Oh wow, I'm overwhelmed. And then we just leave and go to another listing photo. So you only want to bold what you really want people to see. And that's typically going to be your heading. So your heading can be bold. And then the rest of the text, which we wouldn't have all of this text, we would just have like your main text and then like your subheading. So your heading and then your subheading. So your heading, your main heading will be in bold. Your subheading would just be a regular font, just not bolded. And that way our eyes first we'll look at the images and then we'll look at this text here and see what it says. And that will be the bold text. And then we look at the subheading. Just keep in mind, you only want your headings to be bolded. The rest of your text does not need to be bold because that's overwhelming to our eyes and it's too much to look at, kind of like the busy background. It's just too much to look at. We want to keep things simple so our customer knows exactly what they're going to get and they don't feel overwhelmed or confused by your listing photos. All right, so let's hop into mistake number 5, and that is flat images. So let me show you what I mean here. So I'm going to pull some images up on the screen. Okay, so here is an image here that we have. So let's say this is an image of your product. So we could just leave it like this, which, okay, that's fine. At least we can see the product. But what would be even better, since this is a digital product, we want the images to feel more realistic. So what we're going to do is go up here to edit, go over here to shadows, and I like to use glow and see how it makes it just look more like it's an actual piece of paper. It gives it that shadow behind it. So that's one option, is to use glow. You can also, if we go back to shadows again, you can use a drop shadow. So those are mainly the two that I use. You could use this page lift so that looks more realistic, or the curved page. So it just depends on the look you're going for. But you definitely would want to use, if you have something that looks like a page, you'd want to use these effects or shadows so that it looks more realistic and the person feels like they're actually getting like a physical product, even though it's used digitally. So it just makes it feel more realistic to the customer. Don't just leave it like a blank. So we go back to what we had. So see how now it just looks really bland. It doesn't look that realistic. But if we always want to add some type of shadow just to make it look more realistic and it looks like it's kind of popping off of the page and it's more in your face, it really makes your images stand out. Okay, so let's go into listing photo mistake number 6, and that is using unrealistic mockups. So let me show you what a mockup is. So I'm going to add a page, go to elements. Okay, so if we did an iPad mockup and I go to photos. All right, so here we go. So doing iPad mockups can, or whatever it is. So you could do iPad, I would do like a paper mockup, invitation mockup. So there are all types of different mockups you can use. Just type it in here. So instead of iPad mockup, you would type paper mockup, wall art mockup, invitation mockup. So whatever it is that you're making, spread it out, make it look realistic, drag it around, get it however you want it to look. And then you are going to add your image. So let me take my image. I'm going to take my shadow off. copy this and paste it down here. And you want to make your image look more realistic. And that way the customer can feel, again, like they're really getting something. So see how simple that was? So you would move it around, center it, do those things, but you get the gist. So you want it to look like it's actually on the iPad screen. So things that I find it harder to do that with are like these scrolling ones. So like if someone here is scrolling, and I've literally seen people do this. They'll take their image, they'll put it right here like that, and then they'll kind of just like leave it like that. And they will put that on Etsy and wonder why they're not making sales. So like, would you like what is this? What I don't even get what they're trying to do here, but you want them to look more realistic. This looks like it could actually be on an iPad. And this is very beginner. Like you could do so much more with this, but this is very basic. So just stretch it out, make it look like it's actually on the iPad. Don't just put something up on the screen like this where it literally doesn't look realistic at all. I would definitely incorporate some of these types of realistic style mock-ups into your listing photos just so people, and then it also tells them like up here, it might just look like a page. And then down here, so they're like, okay, I can print this off and use it. But now they see it on an iPad. So they're like, oh, I can also use this digitally. So it really just gives them more information about how the product can be used without you saying, you can also use it digitally. Like you don't have to say that, like just show them that it can be used digitally. So remember, show, don't tell. We want them to see what they can do with the product. And of course, you can put like the words down here, like import into GoodNotes, Notability, blah, blah, blah. Like you can put all of that, the different ways they can use it, but we want them to see how they can use it. So if you're going to do some mock-ups, I definitely recommend these realistic style mock-ups, but make it look realistic. Don't do something like this. Do something that looks more like this. And then with my mock-ups too, I always edit it and use a filter just to brighten it up. And I usually do like Capri and just take it down a bit so it's not as like super bright. So it stands out like it. We want our products to pop. So we want our images to pop off, look like they're popping off the screen. So they're really eye-catching. So brighten up your images. So I always go to edit, filters, and then I go to Capri. And then I just drag the intensity to however bright I want it. I will always brighten my images like this, my mock-ups, just so they pop more and stand out more. Listing mistake number 7 is that people ignore their thumbnail. So your very first image is going to be your thumbnail. So if we go back to our search results on Etsy, this is called a thumbnail. So this is your thumbnail listing photo. So this is going to be the first image that someone sees. And I want you to notice how all of them, right up here at the top, it tells you exactly what you're going to get on literally every single one. They literally tell you exactly what you're going to get. That's how your thumbnail image should be. People want to know exactly what they're going to get. So all of them look similar. They have the image of the product and they have the title of the product up here so people know what it is. And then some of them even have like different ways you can use it, like a laptop and a phone. So people want to see the different ways that they can use your product. So this is your thumbnail. We wouldn't want, if we go back over to Canva, we wouldn't want something like this as our very first thumbnail image because I have no idea what this even is. We want ours to look like this, the bold heading, you can have a subtext under here, and then an image of the product. And with my like printable things, I always have multiple images. Like I spread the images out like all over the screen. Like I make them look really big and in your face, something like that. And then I would, of course, have like my the shadow behind them. So I do them all in glow. So it looks like they're all popping off the screen. And then I just spread them out and make them bigger. So I would do my listing photo something like this, where it looks like it looks like you're getting a lot of stuff. So have your heading in bold, you can have some subtext down here, and then make sure you have a nice picture of the product. And that should be your thumbnail image, or not should be, but I highly recommend it because as you can see over here, so when we go back over here to Etsy, you can see that all of these listing photos follow the same format. They all look similar. They have the heading in bold. They have the subheading, which is not bolded. It's like lighter text, but it's still easy to read. And then they have a picture of the product. So that is exactly what we're doing. We have our heading. We have a little bit more information here, picture of the product. So that will be your thumbnail. And most of these, if we go back over here, most of these, yeah, solid, simple background. So this one, dark green, light green background. This one has a gradient type of background. So all of the backgrounds are super simple and clean and easy for you to read the text that is on the screen. So all of these have simple backgrounds where it's easy for you to read the text on the screen, and they want you to really pay attention to the product. They want you to see the picture of the product and be able to easily read the text on the image instead of being overwhelmed by the background. Those are super common listing photo mistakes that I see people making. If you have any questions about listing photos, please let me know in the comments below. If you're wondering how to make sales on Etsy, you want to avoid all of these common mistakes, then make sure you go to the description and grab the sales sprint where I lay out the step-by-step process of how to make sales on Etsy. Whether you already have an Etsy shop or you're just beginning, it's going to show you how to make sales on Etsy, period. That's all it does. So if you're interested in that, go to the description and grab the sales sprint, and I will see you in the next video.